Good day everyone and welcome to GZMM.
So for our first news, President Rodrigo Duterte on Tuesday confirmed his medical test. So we have on the other line Jonas Silverio. Jonas?
President Rodrigo Duterte on Tuesday confirmed his medical test turned out negative for cancer. Asked if he underwent biopsy, Duterte said, "Yes, I am not cancerous." He told reporters in an interview in Malacanang. During biopsy, a tissue or cell sample taken from a patient is analyzed for signs of cancer or other diseases. Duterte said, what he has is a bad cause of Barrett's esophagus, a condition where acid from the stomach damages the esophagus linings, resulting in complications that could turn into cancer. Critics have been calling for transparency regarding the president's health, possibly through disclosing medical records or a regular medical bulletin, after Duterte admitted having several medical conditions. In his previous speeches, the president said he also suffered from migraines, nausea, pain due to spinal injury and Berger's disease, or a disorder affecting blood vessels. Cabinet officials congratulate the president, who even managed to crack a joke. He said, "You know, our health is like a battery. Sometimes it's negative and positive." Presidential Communications Secretary Martin Andanar said the president told Finance Secretary Sonny Dominguez that there was no need for the palace to release a medical bulletin about his health because nothing serious was found in the medical test. Jonas Silverio reporting. Back to the studio.
Thank you, Jonas.
For second report, De La Rosa supporters, Gabriela engaged in shouting match at Comelec. We have Lloyd Basada on the other line. Lloyd?
Yes, sir. Supporters of former police chief and senator candidate Ronald Bato de la Rosa and the Gabriela Women's Party List engaged in a shouting match during the filing of certificates of candidacy at the Commission of Elections on Friday. While it was unclear who started the arguments, protesters from Gabriela positioned in the front of the Comelec headquarters in Intramuros, Manila, shouted Verdugo at De La Rosa, who was being interviewed. In response, De La Rosa supporters cheered for the former PNP chief and shouted his name and President Rodrigo Duterte's name to drown out the shouts of the other camp. Officials of both groups pacified the situation afterwards to avoid any further commotion. Gabriela members, who are staunch critics of the Duterte administration, was referring to De La Rosa's role as the chief of the Philippine National Police or PNP. De La Rosa is currently the Director General of the Bureau of Corrections. Recent PNP data show that 4,800 have been killed in legitimate police operations, but opposition parties have said that the number ranges from 12,000 to 20,000. De La Rosa is running under the Partido Demokratiko Pilipino, Laban ng Bayan, while Gabriela, a member of House of Representatives Makabayan Bloc, will field 3 candidates for the 2019 midterm elections. This is Lloyd Basada reporting back to studio.
According to CNN survey, 12.2 million Filipino families consider themselves poor. We have Leonard De Leon. Leonard?
The number of Filipinos who think they are poor hit the highest rate since December 2014. More Filipinos think they are poor, amounting to the highest number since the president took office in 2016, according to the latest national survey. Social Weather Station survey result in September showed 52% or roughly 12.2 million Filipinos families classified themselves as poor. This is 4 points higher than the 48% rate or 11.1 million families from June 2018 and the highest since December 2014. In the survey, respondents said they need a monthly budget at least 10,000 to consider themselves as non-poor. President Rodrigo Duterte began his term on 2016 with a record low self-rated poverty average of 44%. 10 million, the lowest recorded self-poverty rate was in October 2016 with 42%, 9.4 million. The last highest in term was at 50%, 11.5 million in March 2017. The result also showed that some families are newly poor. This refers to respondents that did not classify themselves as poor one to 4 years ago. SWS saw an 8% increase in newly poor families while the remaining respondents have always considered themselves as poor. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque attributed the survey result to inflation, which hit a 9 high in September, and the destruction brought by Typhoon Ompong. We understand the sentiments of the people in the month of September when the survey as conducted inflation rose to 6.7% sa Philippine Statistic Authority. He maintained that the government has already undertaken measures to curb inflation. He cited the recent directive of the President to liberalize rice information. Translation: this include the President directive in his last cabinet meeting that there would be a limitation to the importation of rice to increase supply and lowest price. Meanwhile, less people in Metro Manila consider themselves poor. The rice declined in Metro Manila by 17 points, hitting a new record low from 43% in June 2016. Percent in September, it is the lowest since it record of 28% in December 2000, June 2017 and December 2017. The survey also measured the respondents' self-rated food poverty, which showed if Filipino considered their food as poor. The result showed a 2-point increase nationwide from 34%, 7.8 million in June to 36%, 8.5 million in September. Respondents said they need a monthly food budget of at least 5,000 to call themselves non-food poor. The survey was conducted on September 15 to 23 among 1,500 adults through face-to-face interview. It has sampling margin of error of negative to positive 3% for national percent, positive negative 4% for balanced Luzon, and 6% each for Metro Manila, Visayas, and Mindanao. This is Leonard De Leon reporting. Back to the studio.
Thank you, Leonard.
The 30 Secret Special Report. Ban drug links of active ex-PNP, PIDEA, BOC executives. We have Yvonne Valerio on the line. Yvonne?
Duterte Secret Special Report bears drug links of active ex-PNP, PIDEA, BOCXX. A secret special report released by President Rodrigo Duterte has identified active and former top officials of the Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency, or PIDEA, Philippine National Police, PNP, and the Bureau of Customs who were allegedly involved in the drug trade. The report, which the President ordered to declassify and release to the media on Tuesday, showed the alleged drug links of several law enforcement officials in the country. The report implicates former PIDEA Deputy Director General for Administration Ismael Fajardo Jr., who was fired from his post on September 14th by PIDEA Director General Aaron Aquino for his alleged involvement in the drug trade. Sina Valerio reporting. Back to studio.
Mocha Usol resigns, says that the fight isn't over. We have Mara on the other line. Mara?
Communications Assistant Secretary Margo Mocha Uson said that she was resigning from her post to aid the passage of her agency's budget, but warned critics that her fight was not yet over. The House of Representatives had deferred action on the budget of the Presidential Communications Operations Office after Uson failed to attend budget deliberations. She told a separate budget hearing at the Senate last Wednesday that she missed the House hearings because she was at the United Nations General Assembly. PCOO budget hearing deferred because of Mocha Uson's absence. Uson alleged that several left-leaning lawmakers were deliberately stalling the PCOO's budget after her interview with Som Lumad, who claimed they were being used by left against Duterte. She also slammed congressmen for politicizing budget deliberations. Uson recently drew flack over a video about federalism that featured dancing and another clip that courted protests from the deaf community. This is Mara Pia Borja reporting. Back to studio.
Thank you, Mara.
HIV rate in the Philippines increased. We have Joshua Silverio. Joshua?
For the second time this year, the number of HIV cases in the country has breached the 1,000 mark. A total of 147 HIV cases were recorded last August, based on HIV/AIDS Registry of the Philippines. Report of the Department of Health. It was way back in January when the country last saw over 8,000 HIV cases with 1,021. In 2017, the number of new HIV cases breached the 1,000 mark 3 times. According to the August 2018 HARP report, 17% or 176 had clinical manifestations of being advanced HIV infections or AIDS. The DOH also report 159 deaths from HIV/AIDS for the month of August this year. Sexual contact remains the predominant mode of transmissions with 1,022 cases, with 887 being males who have sex with males. Male-to-male sex accounted for 627 cases, followed by 260 from those having sex with both male and female, and 135 from male to female sex. Needle sharing among injecting drugs users accounted for 17 cases. 8 cases, on the other hand, had no data on the transmission, said the health department. 1/3 of the new HIV cases were from the National Capital Region, followed by Calabarzon Region. Next is Central Luzon, Central Visayas, and Western Visayas. 91 overseas Filipino workers were also diagnosed in August, and almost all of them were infected through sexual contact. For the first 8 months of 2018, there are now 7,579 new HIV cases, including 1,341 AIDS cases and 435 deaths. Since 1984, there have already been 58,181 HIV cases with 6,409 AIDS cases and 2,893 deaths. This is George Val Silverio reporting. Back to you.
Thank you, Joshua. A lot of better takes a chance at the 1 billion peso prize pot in the Ultra Lotto 658. It is the first time the Lotto's prize will reach a 1 billion mark. Over 100 Lotto bettors almost won the 1 million jackpot prize, guessing 5 out of the 6 numbers in the winning combination. Philippine Charity Sweepstakes Office, or PCSO, said 113 bettors got the 5 correct numbers in the winning combination, which are 12, 16, 46, 3, 38, and 36. Each of the bettors won 158,760 pesos. According to the PCSO website, bettors who get 5 numbers can win as much as 280 pesos. The record jackpot prize of 1 billion, 26 million, 264 and 314 million pesos remains intact since no bettor was able to guess the winning combination. The jackpot prize is expected to go up in the next due Thursday. A lone bettor meanwhile won the 97 million peso jackpot in the Super Lotto 649, guessing the winning combination of 19, 32, 40, 21, 5, and 43. For the sports news for today, we have Ron Jacob back. Ron?
And for our sports news, we have
The top 10 plays of the NBA preseason. At number 10, we have Trey Burke putting that shot from half court. Swish shot the buzzer. At another angle, there we go. As he throws it, swish, definitely a swish. At number 9, we have Devin Robinson. At number 9 with Ali Hoop. Nice pass with a nice dunk, putting that sauce down. At number 8, we have Malik Monk running with another half-court shot, bunking in off the glass at the buzzer, cleans the rim, goes in. At number 7, we have Trae Young. Trae Young on the break running, stays it in, bow, swat by Josh Richardson off the glass. That's a nice one. On number 6, we have Marcus Morris. Oh, that's a nice dunk in the tight D. The bench gets hype. At number 5, we have Curry giving that lob pass to Damian Jones. Slams it down. That's a nasty one. On number 4, we have Giannis sliding it on the tight D. Posterizing dunk in front of that
defense. At number 3, we have CP3 with some flashy dribbling skills, turns around, steps back, putting that shot from parking lot, drops that in. At number 2, Ish Smith breaking ankles as he pulls it shot at the buzzer. That's a nail biter 1. Ish Smith drops that one. At number 1, we have Curry on the break. No look pass to Damian Jones, slamming it down. That's a nice one. That's all for the NBA Top 10 plays.
So for our weather report, we have Ron Joshua De La Rosa. Joshua,
Everyone, let's talk about our weather for today. As you can see in our weather forecast, there's a low chance of having a rainfall in Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. And the lowest temperature in Metro Manila will be 24 degrees, and the highest will be 33 degrees Celsius. And let's have our trivia. Do you know that the Earth is 4.5 billion years old? And that's all. My name is Joshua De La Rosa, at your service.
That is all for today. My name is Jaren Espiritu Santo,
and I am Mariela ABC Ramos.
and this is GZMM.
News.